Wild times. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Here we go. We're back. You know that who thing that I do at the top?
Who?
That, like the make a loud sound?
Yeah.
My buddy came and visited with me a couple weeks ago, and he's like, dude, I love your podcast. I listen to everyone. He lives in Kentucky. He's like, I sit on the mower for an hour and a half and listen. But he's like, when you start the show, I'm sitting on my mower. I have the volume all the way up my headphones because the mower's loud, and you go, woo! At the beginning, he's like, I have to fucking pull my headphones off.
That's Kyle's fault because that should be mitigated in the post production.
So don't stop doing it.
No, keep doing it louder,
keep scaring
and
your friends.
everybody can punish Kyle.
So wait, where
for
does this guy live?
He lives in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh man,
Louisville.
Imagine having a yard that took an hour and a half to mow on a rider.
4 acres. He just goes up and down.
Grass.
He gets the lines. He says he puts a pot. He says it's my weekly vacation.
Uh-huh.
He's like, I get away from the family. I put the headphones in. I sit on the mower for an
Yeah.
hour and a half. Make
Sounds
perfect
lovely.
lines. He's like, I love it.
No, it
That's
is
part of my week.
It's a frame of mind thing because that's how I've started to begin to look at like doing cardio exercise. I'm like, it's a chance to get away
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
All right, so this is for you, Chad.
for the fourth
Chad.
time. For the fourth.
Of course, his name's Chad. Also,
Yeah, he's a Chad.
from Kentucky.
I gotta say, man, I'm excited. It's Monday.
It's Monday.
But Friday, I'm going on a little vacation, little resort vacation.
Say more.
Well, I'm going. It's my fantasy football draft, baby.
Oh, it's that time of year.
And going with five of my buddies from my league. We're all bringing our families, sitting in a
Vegas?
resort for 3 days. Nah, Scottsdale, baby.
Oh, that's right. You do Scottsdale.
And your shirt's really just like, I feel like I'm already on vacation now.
My shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a chubby shirt. I love it. I'm not
For
going to lie.
those who are only listening, Forrest showed up in full vacation mode, Hawaiian shirt,
It's midsummer.
very short shorts.
It's
Yeah,
nice.
they're the 5-inch inseams.
You might want to reduce.
Yeah, I was trying to get a 3-inch inseam. Apparently, they don't make such a thing. It's just called a Speedo.
And he hopped out of his giant like monster tire truck.
Taking up 2 spots
Take
per
up two
usual.
of the very first spot at the door we enter.
And,
He
and before I got here, I moved a shopping
He
cart. to the
brought a
middle of it.
shopping cart with him in the trunk.
And you tell me you left it in the parking lot.
I did,
somewhere.
yeah.
I figured as
For the
much.
next person.
Yeah, for
All
the
right,
next
real
person to
quick.
run into with their car.
Speaking of being on vacation mode, it's midsummer. We've had a photo contest going most of the summer.
Oh, yeah.
Decided to extend it a week. We're going to pick the winner next week, so don't forget to throw your photos in. We end the competition on September 15th.
So I will say this. Handful of people, Kyle has been meticulously like reverse image searching everything.
Yeah, quit being dicks.
And so he's weeded out a few people who just posted like, Smithsonian photos and stuff like that. I will say, of the ones that are proven to be original, I am shocked by the amount of photography talent that the listeners have. I
Dude,
mean, some of like
crazy.
legit the coolest pictures I've ever seen.
Better
up.
than Smithsonian photography.
Some of
legit.
them, yeah, man. Some of them could be in the Wildlife Photography of the Year competition.
Agreed. There,
Yeah.
some of them are beautiful.
What are we
Speaking
going to
of
do? Is we're
wildlife,
going to throw it on a frame back there? It's going to fucking be in our
Yeah.
studio hanging up? There it is.
we're going to
Wherever
find
we
a
look
spot for it. We
Right
don't know
now-
where. But
Right
it's
now,
gonna go
there's
in
a
the studio.
short list going, like because we've been going through and favoriting.
Get yourself on that short list.
It's gonna be tough.
I didn't do intros. I'm going to skip that. We're too deep.
Skip it.
Um,
We're too deep in.
Hey,
Hi.
Skinny Pete.
I'm Peter.
Skinny Pete.
Peter.
What's
Yeah.
in the news? What's in the
What's
news?
in the news? Can I read it?
Yeah.
News from the underground.
Floridians balk at administration plan to build golf courses and pickleball courts at state parks,
Okay.
Florida wide.
So before we dig into this, I'm going to get some hate for saying this. A nice pickleball court at a park sounds lovely. Why is that an issue?
It's almost reminding me of the beach volleyball court at the Olympics where the Eiffel Tower was in the background.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
What's wrong with that?
I'd love to.
Well, here's what's wrong with it. Florida scrub jays and other endangered species face new threats due to the proposed building of not necessarily the pickleball course, but the golf course, the pickleball course, the hotels, all these things that Governor Ron DeSantis, his administration has said these are a good idea. Let's go ahead and build these things in state parks across Florida. So what it really does is it's taking away from native species.
Sure.
In a state where, let's be honest, these are vital sanctuaries for wildlife because there is such rapid urbanization across the state. Like Florida is basically a giant parking lot at this point in time.
Right.
Parking lot with big scary lizards. And so these little natural spaces need to remain natural. So that was my setup being like, it sounds good. It's not good. It's actually a bad thing.
I think there's a bit of an element of anytime now you want to build a golf course on any natural area, it's automatically linked to, and everybody who hates Donald Trump will get on your ass about it because that's like his thing. Everybody hates
What, golf courses?
building golf courses everywhere and destroying land.
The golf course is sort of like the sign of wild space going away because they take up so much water.
Yeah, it's
to
huge.
keep them green.
It's like anti-conservatism almost. The
and
pickleball court though is pretty small.
that seems more manageable.
I don't think it was just going to be one.
Yeah, singular pickleball court in the heart of the wilderness.
Is pickleball?
It's a bit of a line.
I saw that pickleball was in the Olympics, and I was like, "Is
Was
this
it?
a real sport?"
Are you sure, Kyle?
I swear to
fact check
God.
that. I think he's a liar.
Because you think like this is a sport where drunk people come and get very close with a tiny net and a weird like ball they have to keep in the air, right?
Have you guys played it? I've still never played.
Yeah.
I played it in gym when I was in high school constantly.
Are you thinking of a different sport? Are you thinking of table tennis?
No, it's the one with the weird little what's the ball called?
It's like a wiffle ball.
It's got a bottom red thing.
No, you're
that's
thinking
badminton.
Badminton?
You loon.
Oh, what's pickleball?
Badminton. Wait, quick. Nobody look. Patrick, you answer last because I feel like for some reason you know this. Kyle, what do you call the ball in badminton?
Oh gosh,
A bad ball.
I don't know. I
A
kind of
mitten.
know, but I don't know.
Petter. A mitten? Patrick?
The shuttlecock.
The shuttlecock, baby.
shuttlecock.
Best name in ball sports.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, nearly named my second born shuttlecock.
By the way, I will say,
Show
I
me a
was,
picture of a
I was
shuttlecock,
watching
please.
some fucking badminton on the Olympics. It is a good watch.
dude,
Yeah,
it's
badminton.
It's a good live, like good TV sport.
So
the
this is what I was
speed is
talking about, though.
unbelievable.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But this is what I was talking about. I just had the name wrong. So it is an Olympic sport. It's badminton, right?
Always
Yes.
has been.
Yeah.
But it's like my point is like I played this in gym and I felt like it was just a bunch of like fat teenagers kind of lumbering around like bopping this weird shuttlecock.
No, it was in gym class. Badminton at the professional level is impressive.
With that weird shuttlecock ball thing?
But dude, pickleball is a phenomenon
Yeah.
that has become popular. I think it kind of started for people who wanted to play tennis but didn't want as much stress on the joints.
But weren't athletic. Yeah.
But it's really fun.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard it's a blast. Never played. Would really like to. I feel like I'm too far now. It's like
too far
starting
in
to watch
age.
Game of Thrones now. It's like like I missed it. I didn't. I love Game of Thrones. But if you
Right.
told somebody you were starting it now, they'd be like, not really going to talk to you about that.
Yeah.
It's all downhill. You're what, 36?
We've talked about everything there is to talk about related to Game of Thrones.
So, update though, this got proposed for these golf courses. And by the way, as we sort of started down this road, golf courses are bad for a number of reasons. The runoff, the fertilizer runoff, and the lawn care is a big issue. But update as of yesterday morning, a Florida agency says that a group behind the state park golf courses has withdrawn their plans due to a massive outcry, a ton of signatures. I saw it was all over my social media. Everybody was pinging it and tagging me and being like, hey, help stop the golf courses. So it seems like this proposed plan is backpedaling.
It's nice that the public can get a voice when they do shit like this in today's society.
Yeah.
Because normally it's all just like social media is killing children, like but it's like it actually gives a little bit of power back to the public to change things like this.
I'm not a golfer. I don't enjoy the sport. I played once with Mitch, and I want him to hear this. I beat him on the one and only hole.
What?
True story. He's like a big golfer.
Wow.
We went to this fancy golf place out in Missouri, like Tiger Woods special golf course out there.
Yeah.
I didn't play the first hole. I was like, this looks stupid. Never played before. Played the second hole and beat him. Got a birdie.
A birdie
And then-
on a professional golf course?
And then played the next hole, and I think I hit an 11 on a par 3. So I wasn't. It was definitely a fluke on the first one. And then I was like, I'm done, and I just went to drinking. But I'm glad
Nice.
because I don't like golf courses. There's too many of them. I don't understand why everybody wants to stand around in funny pants and hit that fucking ball. Like it's not that cool of a sport. Just play a contact sport like a grown up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's because they get to wear funny clothes like that you're wearing.
This is a very golfy shirt.
It's very
is it not?
golfy in
so
Hawaii.
You should feel how soft it is.
I think you could go. I don't think you could golf in those shorts.
They're too short.
I think they're too short.
You get a rip.
Yeah.
Just trying to stretch.
They were gonna also. People were outraged because they were gonna take. Part of the plan was to make room for the courses. They were gonna remove all the staff housing for like the
interesting.
park rangers and stuff.
Oh my God.
So it's a bit of a fucked
They're
up.
literally
Sounds like
just
a
like-
bad plan.
Yeah.
It's like rich guy comes in, he's like, I want to bulldoze everything and flatten it and make grass here with
Yep.
some holes in it.
Wild.
Yeah.
Put some
I mean,
sand.
Florida is basically a giant retirement home with golf courses at this point.
Well, there's like Miami and stuff with the club scene and the Cubans and all the.
True. Oh boy, Patrick and I had a night in Miami. Let me tell you.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
It sounds like you guys shacked up. What happened?
What was the name of that club? 7? Is there a club called
Club
7 in
7.
Miami?
11.
11.
7-Eleven.
That's it. No, I was close.
How do you know, Kyle?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
He knows.
Goodness, he's been there with Forrest
Oh,
too,
man.
dude. You're
No.
not the only one.
We shut that place down.
Yeah, we had no idea what we were doing.
No.
We had a night out after we did a bunch of shark stuff.
Yeah.
And because we were flying out of Miami, and we were with Neil, Peter's buddy, who's a doppelganger for Steve Aoki.
Sure is.
Yeah.
And he was very much embracing it, had the hair down, had the cool
We
shirt.
told everybody he was Steve Aoki.
And they
That's how
probably
we got
believed
in.
you.
Yeah, they did. They
Yeah.
were just like, I didn't know Steve Aoki was 4'9".
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, we started the night at the Clevelander.
Yep.
Had some cocktails, and then the next thing I know, we're at this fucking nightclub. And then the next thing I know, Mitch is buying like 2 of the giant Grey Goose bottles.
Oh
Yep.
my
True
God.
story.
And then it got turned. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That
Yeah.
sounds like my experience at Animal Con last year when I
No, very different. You just sent it by yourself. Those are two
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
So
things.
there's a whole lot of people around hanging out with me, and but my point is that you probably just woke up the next day and you were like, huh? Oh,
Nobody
boy.
called
Oh,
you
boy.
Poppy at Animal Con.
How do you
know?
Okay, that
Somebody
happened
did
in Miami.
draw something on my butt.
That's
so.
true.
That's true. But also, none of us ran across a 4-lane in each direction highway to try and go to a 7-Eleven after beer sales had closed. Which you did at
Speaking
Animal
of,
Con.
we'll be at Animal
But
Con
somebody else
this
did.
year, October. What are the dates?
4th, the
Fourth
weekend. whatever
weekend
that
of October 4th. Come and
4th,
visit
5th,
us.
6th.
It's gonna be live streaming. It's gonna be fun.
Dude, so we're setting it up this year, so it's a lot more engagement for the crowd. It's going to be like a podcast that we're doing there, not more so than like interviews.
There's a lot of engagement. People can line up, and Peter will spit in your mouth. It's this new thing that
Well,
we're
I
trying.
prefer
Who
I
knows?
fart in their mouths, but yeah.
All right, we got another piece of news. That was a bad joke.
All the women have tuned out. All right.
both
moving
of
on.
them.
There weren't any.
Yeah.
That's true.
So Kyle sent this. I haven't seen it yet. Apparently, there's a photo. Shocked scientists film humpback whale with no tail swimming down Washington coast.
Well, it
Okay.
I don't
could've
know
been
how a
swimming.
whale swims with no tail.
I was just going to say it couldn't have been swimming.
Is it limping? Is it? What's
Let's
it doing?
see.
Oh,
Let's
wow.
see.
Severed. Look at that.
Okay.
So they got a
What
cool
in the
aerial
world?
photo.
Holy
from a drone.
crap!
How
Holy
does it go?
severed.
It's like a UFO. It has no wings. It's just
How
floating
does
around.
it move?
I don't know.
That
But
must
maybe
be
the
so
body, maybe
hard.
because the
Oh, look,
body.
there's a video.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like undulating.
Well, it can still go up and
Poor
down.
bastard.
Well, but there's no propulsion. There's no paddle, and yet so he's doing it all with his
Fins.
front fins.
That's crazy.
Man,
dude.
that must be taxing.
I
Dude.
wonder, do they think that
Yeah.
this whale has a shot to live much longer, or do they think this is like on death's
And
door?
how is this a boat strike, or is this Kyle? Maybe you can find the info. Is this from a boat strike, or is this from a shark attack?
Well, this would be like if I just had weights on my legs and was trying to doggy paddle in the open sea.
Then you'd be even skinnier, Pete.
Yeah, but still, like, I mean, I would last for about maybe an hour before I sunk to the bottom
Oh,
and
so
died.
this is pretty sad. So it's from entanglement with fishing gear. So
Oh,
most
man.
likely it got a rope wrapped around its tail.
Fucking terrible.
It's like when you put rubber band on a sheep's
Yeah,
nuts
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever, and they fall off after a couple weeks.
That's
That's pretty
terrible.
brutal.
That's
Eh,
terrible.
It's interesting though. It is terrible, but I know in Northern California they've stopped. So you used to be able to go out and drop these crab pots with these long lines and a float,
Mhm.
and you'd leave them overnight, come back the next day, and your crab traps were full of crabs,
Mhm.
right? For the last couple years at least, and I probably up into Oregon and Washington as well, you can't do that any longer for whale entanglement. So you can go out and crab fish, but you have to like stay around your pots and wait and then pull them back up, and you cannot leave them overnight. So
Good
they
law.
are taking action to not have this kind of thing happen.
Yeah, I mean, does he look normal? Is that a normal color?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It
yeah,
is?
yeah.
Okay.
Outside of the tail, he looks normal.
He looks
It's just
normal.
that's got to be pretty taxing for the poor guy.
I just saw a friend of mine posted a picture. She was diving with humpback whales,
Ooh,
or just snorkeling, I think.
delightful. Where?
I can check. but
Doesn't matter.
I didn't pay attention because I'm not going to go do it. But it looked fucking amazing. I'm like, is this something you can just go do?
Yeah. Couple places.
Where?
The best place for humpbacks is Vavau, Tonga.
Okay.
So I went there. We missed him by like 3 days. I was so bummed.
So you
Um,
didn't get to do it at all?
No, I was going to Vavau regardless because it's like one of those ocean paradise places. but the humpbacks come through there. And I mean, these are the photos you get. These are the things you do. Must add to the YouTube thing. Just thought of that. But yeah, no, I went there. This was many, many years ago with Jess, and the humpbacks had left like 3 days before we got there.
Oh, like
because they come in and move out.
Did you still go out on the boat and try?
Oh, we went and dove every day and did everything else,
Gotcha.
but we didn't target the whales because they just weren't there. So we literally went scuba diving, spearfishing, and all the other fun stuff.
Let me ask you this, because my buddy Sam texted me, and he's got a big birthday coming up, and he's always wanted to go to the Galapagos. We've tried to pitch like 3 Galapagos shows just because he wants to. He's a TV host.
Yeah.
But he's gonna do it for his birthday, and he was like, "Yo, he could have Googled this,
Sure. But he didn't.
But he was like, "Yo, you have a podcast. What's the best time of year to go? Like, give me some tips on going, just having some awesome dives in the Galapagos
For diving, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know the specifics, but Kyle, maybe you look this up for us. When does the hammerhead migration go through the Galapagos? Because that's the thing to base it around.
Yeah.
You know, so
there's a funny thing that's been going on we have a group WhatsApp.
I know what you're gonna say.
We've gotten into a pretty intense competition that I think is actually been very beneficial to all of our health.
Let's call it what it is. It's a sleep war.
We're at a sleep war.
Yeah.
So we all 8 Sleep is one of our favorite sponsors.
Yep.
So we each have a Pod 4.
Yeah.
And it's a heating and cooling system for your bed.
Yep.
Essentially, I go the coldest. I do -10. That's a point
crazy.
It's insane.
A point of pride.
I think his organs are frozen.
But dude, we've talked about it a million times. I'm an awful sleeper.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so it gives you a sleep score. You can see how much did you snore, how much REM did you get.
Yeah.
And so every morning when we wake up, we all send the screenshot of our sleep score, and it's getting competitive.
Show us yours, Peter. You won today.
Well, yeah.
You were very pleased.
I think it was just like in the 89s or something, but that's good for me because the kids wake me up every night.
But dude, there was there was one night, it was the first night I set mine up, that I got 10 hours and 14 minutes of sleep. And
Wild.
Forrest was just like, I think you cooked the books.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he did. He went in there and edited his sleep
He
score.
must have, because
It's-
I've never seen him sleep more than 4 hours
look,
ever.
I will say this. It's an investment, right? It's not $50.
Nope.
Right? It has completely changed my relationship with sleep. I'm going to bed I'm getting 2 extra hours of sleep a night because I'm looking forward to getting into my ice cold bed under my thick down comforter.
This is shocking if you know this man. I've known him for over 10 years. He would fight to the death to not go. He'll fall asleep with a glass of wine
Straight
on
up.
the couch.
spill it straight into my own
Straight up.
lap. It really changes your relationship with sleep. It did for me. My favorite baseball player, Aaron Judge, is a user of it. If it's good enough for him, it's good enough for us.
Sure.
And it's good enough for you listening. Look, you can save some money if you want. Head to 8sleep.com/wildtimes and use the code WILDTIMES to get $350 off the Pod 4 Ultra. It'll also get you savings on the Pod 4. Currently ships to the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, Europe, and Australia. And if you do it, you can get in on our competition.
That's what I was going to say. We might start like a little group on
We should start a
Discord.
Brosner group
We'll
competition.
start a Telegram group or something.
They're all too young for that.
Yeah, they sleep perfectly or don't need sleep. Whatever. It still feels nice to hop into that nice, warm or cold bed.
Oh, I can't wait for winter.
Peter, how's your minx you have at home?
Listen, it is hot, and my cat takes a lot of poops, and it gets real stinky.
Gross.
But not anymore because I got Pretty Litter. That's right. No, just kidding. But literally, I've had the Pretty Litter, and it has cut down on my hot cat poop smell in the room, as much as can be.
I wish that people could see camera footage from inside my house, because when you listen to a podcast and you know that it's a sponsor, sometimes you're like, these guys are just
selling a product.
They're selling a product.
Mhm.
My wife is legitimately mad at me because every time I change the litter, I'm like, how does this work? It's amazing.
God.
It's incredible. There's zero smell. It is truly my favorite pet product that I've ever owned.
Dude, Pretty Litter is amazing. You have to try it. Go to prettylitter.com/wild to save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy. That's
God,
prettylitter.com/wild to save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy. prettylitter.com/wild. Terms and conditions apply.
See site for details, Kahat.
Caught.
Just pronounce it.
Diving in the Galapagos is great all year long. You can get whales, seals, tiger sharks, blah, blah, blah. But for a couple months of the year, these giant schools of hammerheads come through. Kyle, what's the time of year for that?
June to November.
June to November, you
Still
get
got time.
tens of thousands of hammerheads coming through. So you get all the great diving you usually get, and then look out into the pelagic zone, and there's a wall of hammerheads.
Pelagic, what's that?
Open ocean.
Okay, pelagic. That means open ocean. Why don't you
We've
just
had
say?
this combo many
Pelagic
times.
is like
Last podcast.
somebody in a fucking nursing home sounds like they have that as a disease or something. Or that's
He's got a case of the pelagic.
disability of some sort.
Are you thinking paraplegic?
Aren't hammerheads like vicious? You can't go in there with them, can you?
No, you can. All
can?
hammerheads are fine. Greater hammerheads are definitely the most dangerous, but these are scalloped hammerheads that do these giant migrations, and they're actually pretty
Crazy.
timid. You can't even get very close.
What are we got them up here on the screen? They're like incredible.
Yeah.
What are we talking? Like, you talking 500 hammerheads?
Oh, you can get a school of 5,000.
Wow,
My
Yeah.
goodness.
that is insane.
Like, look at that first photo.
yeah.
You can get just walls of them like that. I've seen them when we filmed in the Revillagigedos Islands off of Cabo. We got pretty big schools of them, but the schools we got were maybe 100 to 200, and in the Galapagos, they get thousands and thousands.
Wait, what were you filming there?
Mystery of the Black Demon Shark.
Yeah.
Shark Week.
yeah.
This was like 8 years ago now.
I got a little question. I mean, your friend wanted to know something. Tap Forrest brain. I feel like I'm entitled to the same. I'm trying to plan a little camping trip, and I saw somebody posted in the Reddit Los Angeles subreddit the most expensive national park that you can go to one of them. It's like the top 3. It is the Channel Islands National Park.
Oh, why is that the most expensive?
Well, because most national
'Cause of the
parks
boat.
because you got to get
You got to
there.
pay like $60 each
and if you
way
want to
for the
bring
boat.
gear and stuff like that, it's even more.
Fair enough.
So I want to go, and because me and my friend have been trying to plan a camping trip, and
My friend and I.
I'll kill you
Because it's expensive.
out of
you wanna go?
space. No, because I was like, I had never thought of this, and I started obviously researching it and looking into it.
Kyle, Alto over there.
Yeah.
Here's what you're going to do. Okay.
I want to camp. Keep that in mind. So I got to bring all
Hey,
that shit with me.
Hey, listen up,
Can
fella.
you drive me?
Just can you be
That's
quiet?
all I
Can
wanted
you
to
shut
know.
the
Can
fuck
you
up?
drive me?
Remember when I gave you the perfect California road trip and you did half of it and you're like, this was amazing?
Yeah, I'm there. I did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did, right? You
Yeah.
did like half of it. You texted.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Half
Here's
of it.
what you're going to do. Okay. Watch the hand.
All right.
Here's what you're going
You've
to do.
erased the board, and
Yeah.
you're now going to draw the picture.
I'm going to rewrite it for
All
you.
right. I love it.
You're going to come to Santa Barbara.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lovely night in a hotel. Or is it just you and your buddy, or are you
Ooh.
taking the wife and kids?
Well,
All
I
are-
think we're
all
doing a
are
little
options.
broke back thing, so I think we're going to go just us.
Real smart.
who?
So
Who?
one
I can't tell you.
First letter.
N.
J? No, not N.
I know who it is. He's going to bring a ukulele.
Yeah, that's
You do
the
know
one.
who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the most fun person to camp with.
Okay.
I don't care
All
who
right.
you are.
Listen up here. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to come to Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
You're going to spend the night in Santa Barbara. You stay in my house if you like, get a hotel, whatever you want.
Thank you.
Early the next morning, circa 8 a.m.,
Yeah.
we're going to meet on the alley in the Santa Barbara Harbor. Kyle, get your fucking Googling on. Come on. We're going to meet on the alley.
Take notes, please, Kyle.
We're going to get breakfast burritos, okay? And we're going to replace potatoes with tots.
Okay.
Bacon.
Smart.
This is
We're going
very
to take
detailed.
It's very detailed.
Okay.
Then we're going to take those. We're going to go next door to Dark Coffee, get a lovely latte.
Oh, yes.
Then we're going to hop on my boat. I'm going to run you across
Okay.
to Scorpion, Kyle, Scorpion Anchorage,
Okay.
Santa Cruz Island.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop you off right there with your buddy. You're going to go, this is where you're going to camp. While there, you're going to do a couple things. You're going to sit on the beautiful beach. You're going to
Yes.
look at the crystal clear water. You're going to go for a snorkel.
Oh, yeah.
And most importantly, you're going to hang out with the endemic Channel Island foxes that are going to come.
Oh, I read about these.
They're
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yes.
Gorgeous.
This is one of the things I was reading about.
These
dude.
little guys, they're going to come climb all over your tent. You're going to get to see them.
Yeah, they get
super
that
cuddly.
up
Oh,
close
they'll
like
be
that?
right up on your lap. Yeah,
Oh,
if you
my
leave
God.
food out, they're all over you.
Now I am like fucking
Okay.
doing this soon.
You're
Yeah.
going
I
to
mean,
have a couple nights there.
Look at how tiny it is.
Just for those who are listening, Kyle has shown us a picture of this Channel Island fox that is literally the size of a mouse. It's maybe
Yeah.
the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Holy cow, man.
Good
like
Lord.
a squirrel-sized fox.
That's cuter than a fennec fox.
It
Holy
is.
crap.
They're
and they
unbelievable. And they only live on Santa Cruz Island
Yeah,
at
yeah.
Scorpion Anchorage.
That's
Well,
what I was
no,
reading.
they live on a few, but yeah, that's
Channel
where you'll see them.
Islands.
The Channel
Yeah.
Islands. Then, after 2 nights, we're going to meet at a certain time, pick you up in my boat, and take you back home.
Now
Okay.
here's
Done.
Done.
Okay.
All right. Dude.
this sounds
You're not invited.
incredible.
Don't weigh in.
No,
You're not
I'm
invited.
I'm not going.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Don't weigh in.
here's my concern.
Okay. What's your concern?
Are you and your ukulele playing friend good scavengers and hunters and survivalists?
We've camped in places where there's nothing. It's not like it's just like a shit in the fucking ground place.
Okay. No, but
That didn't answer the question.
Here's more of the issue.
Okay.
Forrest drops you off on Friday. He
Okay.
goes, I will see you Sunday at 2.
So 48 hours.
Is there cell reception on this island?
Very, very limited.
No,
Okay.
I've been places where there's no cell.
So sure.
Oh my God.
So at 2:00, he hasn't shown up. You hike up to the place that has cell reception that you discovered the previous night while you were on mushrooms crying.
No, I wouldn't be crying. Yeah, mushrooms for sure, though.
Okay. And you go up, and at 3:30, you call him and go, hey, everything okay? And he goes, what? And you go, everything okay? And he goes, oh, dude.
He's not you.
I'm in Florida.
No, that's insane. By the way,
It's not that
he
insane.
would never do that. No, he does not have the fucking like memory of a goldfish like other people that I know.
No, it's that something more exciting is going to come up on Saturday.
He's
He's going to be offshore in Carpinteria, fucking diddling hammerhead sharks.
Right.
And be like, dude, I can't be there till like Monday or Tuesday. You're good.
Well, I'd have to be like,
Just eat some cactus flowers.
Can you run your wife out with some supplies for Christ's sake?
So to be clear, for this campsite, you do need to take everything. Your tents, your sleeping bags, your food, your cooker, everything.
That I could do.
If inevitably when I decide to not pick you up because something more exciting is happening, you can hop on the ferry that comes twice a day.
Okay,
Oh,
so
it
there's
comes
a
to that
backup.
island.
Twice a
Plan
day
B.
to that exact campsite.
Santa Cruz is a pretty popular one, as I've read.
Just
right?
for camping. It's not like Catalina
Yeah.
where there's bars and restaurants and hotels. It's just a campsite.
That's
twice a
not
day.
Channel Islands, is it?
Yeah.
Catalina?
Yeah, they're all part of the Channel Islands.
Oh, I had no idea Catalina was part of the Channel Islands.
They're all the Channel
Yeah,
Islands,
yeah,
but
yeah.
the northern Channel Islands, what people refer to as the Channel Islands, are Anacapa, Santa Cruz, Santa Rosa, San Miguel.
Gotcha. And those are all like that's like all the state park area or whatever.
Yep.
So there's no
Yeah, I'm definitely
infrastructure
going.
out at this spot.
Oh my
is
God!
that
It's
me?
the biggest
No way,
podcast
that's
faux
me.
pas in the world.
Bullshit! I had my phone on Do Not Disturb. I could even see the little moon
and it's
symbol.
Eric.
It must be an
It's
emergency.
Eric, your
I-
producing partner.
It is my partner, and I
Answer
look.
it. Put him
Do
on
Not
speaker.
Disturb. No, I'm not doing that.
Why? He would be mad, wouldn't he?
Absolutely, it wouldn't be.
Well, because here's why I wanted you to pick up, because you were going to pick up and he was going to go, what the fuck is the problem with blah, 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 blah.
100%. Yeah, exploding about something. Yeah, no question. Yeah.
I love that relationship, though.
I don't understand
I need
why
somebody
my
to
phone
have that
just, I'm on
relationship.
Do Not Disturb.
Dude, it's got to be an emergency, man. His mom's dying or something.
So
That's
there's
his
no
problem.
infrastructure at this beach.
No, so there's pull it up again, Kyle. Scorpion Anchorage, Santa Cruz
It
Island.
looks nice, clear
so
water.
there's-
to snorkel in, right?
There's a dock, and you can see it there, and you unload on that dock right there.
Yeah.
And then there's a tiny little ranger station and some porta potty type bathrooms. And that's
Nice.
it. Otherwise, it's a campground. And right there,
Bro.
go the right, go the right, go the right. Emerald Cave swim through.
Oh my
Beautiful.
God.
Just took the wife and kids to do that like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Road set was the coolest thing he's ever done.
So what do? You like rent a kayak or you got to bring
Yeah,
it?
you can rent kayaks right there on the beach. They have
Holy
people
shit!
that do
This
it.
sounds like even way more incredible than I
Take
was
some fishing
picturing.
rods. It's a treat, dude. I'm telling you. I
Listen.
used to do it every summer with Jess. We'd take the
Oh my
ferry
God.
over. We'd camp there for a couple days. We'd
Yeah.
kayak around. Then I got the boat and I go and do my own little adventures. But before then, this was where we'd go.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold you up to it. We're gonna do it. It's happening probably in the fall, coming up here.
It's the best time of year. As soon as kids go back to school, because the water. A lot of people don't know this, but in California, our water gets warmer and warmer until October, and then starts to cool down.
Sure, yeah.
So you think you want to go midsummer, you don't. You want to go September, October. The kids are back at school. The water's the clearest, the calmest, and the warmest.
Yeah.
And it's just the nicest weather.
I'll tell you,
Sounds magical.
you're 12 years old. Picture 12-year-old me. I had the same voice, same personality.
Same beard.
But, you're first starting to you get those feelings about, for me, it was about the ladies.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
But you don't really know what that is. You just think people are attractive and you're kind of not sure what to do with it.
I remember
Yeah.
those days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My original fantasy that I would think about was that I was on a camping trip with Vanna White,
Oh, I like this. I like this.
the lady who turns the letters on Wheel of Fortune.
dude,
Yeah.
she was hot.
She was super
I mean,
hot.
we're talking going back like 30 years here.
I like this a
And
lot.
go
She's
Vanna
still
White-
hot.
No, you got to
Vanna-
go Vanna White like 92.
1990s. Yeah.
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 Dude, she's still hot, even at 85.
Yeah, what a treat.
So,
what a treat.
So
Wowzers.
my scenario, because I needed it to be realistic, right? Was that I had my tent and Vanna White had her tent. Didn't have any tent poles.
Oh, no.
So she couldn't set up her tent, and it
my
started
God.
raining. And I said, come on into my tent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like a gentleman would.
But then it was just me sleeping in a tent with Vanna White.
Yeah, but that was good
Like
enough.
I didn't go any further in the fantasy.
Well, of course,
'cause I
you're
didn't
12.
know what to do.
Peter, I have a similar one. I want to hear yours, Peter. Everybody
Yeah.
had one.
Okay, go ahead. You want to hear mine
No,
first?
you go.
Well, dude, first of all, like I'm laughing so hard on the inside because I'm so confused that it didn't go any further.
I'm literally talking like fourth, fifth, sixth
Yeah,
grade.
these are the early days.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. It is. Before I go into it, though, I was thinking like it really is like you come up with these very convoluted and in-depth imaginative ideas when you first start getting horny.
Sure,
yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
Bananas.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I mean, mine was just every teacher I had. Like,
No way,
No matter
teacher
how
guy?
ugly or mom-ish looking they were, 45 didn't matter. Like,
Man, Mr. Robinson is looking dreamy today.
yeah, it was like I end up in detention after school or something, and now I'm in there with them alone, and it's just like, ooh.
That's interesting because I had a similar
Detention.
detention. I had a similar fantasy. It shows how young I was to Patrick's, but it was Jamie Lynn Spears, Britney Spears' little sister.
Wow,
I
okay.
saw her on like a Nickelodeon show, and I was like, she's so hot. And,
She was.
And she was like
That
our
age,
age,
too.
right?
Yeah.
And this was like before she looked. But I don't I don't know if I can say that. But
Nope. Edit. Just bleep it.
and she was driving for some reason, and the car broke down.
Nice.
And like Patrick, that was where the fantasy ended. We were just stuck in the
In the
car
car.
together. Yeah.
It's so weird to me. I guess like I just don't remember it. I must have done the same thing. I mean, I must have. I just it didn't make an impactful
It's funny
vision.
that even though you don't know where you want it to go,
Yeah.
you still need to like make it believable that you have this forced proximity to this woman who would have no interest in you otherwise.
And then you
100%.
couldn't talk to her. You wouldn't know what to say. You wouldn't know how to
no
conduct
idea.
yourself. Nothing. You just
No.
sit there quietly in the car with that person.
Oh, it's grotesque. So there was a girl in my grade that, and this is now 7th grade, to where other people were doing stuff,
Yep.
but I hadn't and didn't. I'm still playing G.I. Joes.
Yeah.
And I had told my best friend, he knew I had a massive crush on this girl for years, 2-3 years at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he was like, if she asked you to marry her and you had to commit to it right now, would you do it? I was like, in a second.
Without even thinking
In a
about
second.
it. Yeah.
So we have a fire drill. We go outside, and I just gotten these pretty sweet puke orange Converse All-Stars.
Oh, nice, dude, though, for real.
Yeah, like that auburny, nasty color.
Ah, lovely.
And she comes up, steps on them, and grabs my shoulders and was like, I like your shoes. Can I borrow them? And I just go, no. And then she just walked away, and I literally never talked to her again.
You didn't know what to do. You panicked.
I just like looked at my feet and went, no.
Dude, I have a much worse one than that. And I was 17 in high school, senior year. This girl, her name was Michelle. She was like one of the very popular girls. I like rode in all the different groups because I like wasn't a jock. I wasn't like a nerd, but I like wasn't, it was
But
just,
you also dabbled with the hardcore drug users.
yeah, absolutely.
That was later. That was later in
People
life.
respected me for some reason because I had gotten into some fights and like they didn't want to mess with me. And like people thought I was like, I don't know, cool or a bad boy or something.
What happened?
Oh.
Just kidding.
I never was. I mean, this is just what I got assigned the label as from what I can deduce. But anyways, this really, and she was like the really hot girl, and I was dating another girl from a different school, and I broke up with the girl from the other school, and she was like a friend that I'd been friends with for 3 or 4 years, and so I felt bad, but I was like, I'm gonna go on a date. She asked me out, this girl, on a date. She grabbed my notebook and wrote like, "Hey, you're cute. I'm
That's
cute.
huge.
Let's go on a
That's
date.
huge.
It's
Let's go out."
dream.
Yeah. That
So-
never happened to me once.
No.
Obviously, I was a total, like, I didn't go out with girls. Like, I wasn't like the popular crowd.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to handle girls.
Yep.
She probably had been handled many, like, different ways from
She
like
had been
popular.
handled.
Well, you know what I mean? From
She had
like
been
the, like the
aggressively
football
handled.
star probably was like, yeah, babe, that's right. Like,
Yeah, so
fucking.
you took her to the malt shop.
No, I didn't take her to the malt shop. We went to this party of a mutual friend, which was basically just like the friend was dating an older guy and they had an apartment together. And so it was just like an apartment party. And I was so nervous that I was just like guzzling hard booze.
Sure.
And so you know,
never.
but you don't know, like, you
where it
know,
started.
like here I can guzzle hard booze and carry a buzz through the whole podcast recording session. When you're that age, I was just like,
Yeah.
I need to be
Pass
calm my
out.
nerves.
Yes, manically.
I was literally slur-ass drunk, like to the point where, and then she came up and I was like, ew, like still didn't know what to say. Like I was still nervous even though I was hammered, which is 1,000 times worse.
Right.
You're nervous and drunk. And some
It's
other
hard to
like,
do.
and then there was some other guy there. He was like a big, like dressed in all black, like just like a fucking punk rocker dude, hitting on her totally. And she was eating it up because
Of
like
course.
this is the
Her
world
date
I'm
was
not
a,
in.
a mess.
And
Yeah.
well, I'm also like not in there. She was
Nightmare.
probably trying to make me like do things and play the game, and I didn't know how to do any of it. So I ended up just getting shit faced and like sitting down and talking to my already friends and basically ignoring her the whole time.
That sounds about
And then she
right.
never talked to me again.
Last thing I'll say on this, then we'll play a game. I was just reminiscing about this. You remember, and I don't know if this happens anymore because of the internet and kids growing up too fast these days, but you remember making out for like 6 hours?
Yes.
Just making out for and it was great,
It was the
and
best
you
thing in the
loved
world.
it. Now you're like kiss for like a minute. You're like, Jesus Christ, what a waste of
Well,
time.
yeah, I mean, at
but
our
like,
age.
but dude, back then it was
gotta
like
get going soon.
Tapping the watch.
6 hours of making out. Your lips are sore the next day.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, man,
You're
that
bragging
was
about
awesome.
it.
Yeah.
You're calling him on the phone like, oh my God, you remember that shit? Let's get under the blanket
Oh,
again and
totally.
kiss.
What a treat.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, we are animals talking about animal things. I just want to say, like, this is animalistic behavior, even though we're humans.
Well, especially what you did when you were 17. We have a fun game here.
All right. Speaking of being in young love, having a young relationship, there's one thing that always could have worked, and none of us ever tried it.
Uh-huh.
Cooking for a girl.
Oh boy, that would be advanced.
That's all you had to
I
do.
did it once.
Well, I
think.
don't know how. I would burn pasta, but if HelloFresh had been around, 50 different recipes, ingredients showing up fresh to your door, follow the steps, prepare a gourmet meal.
They'd never know.
Dude, I would have got Jamie Lynn Spears right into my kitchen.
Zero question.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known where to gone from there, especially as I lived in Africa. I'm sure she's never been there, but that would have been the ticket.
It's a meal kit. It shows up. It's got all the stuff. It's got a fun little recipe card. I keep them because I like a lot of the recipes.
Nice.
There's a changing menu of up to 50 recipes to choose from each week. It just makes it very easy. You don't have to go to the store. You cook delicious stuff. Usually takes like 20 minutes. I'm a big fan.
And for a limited time, kids eat free. Go to HelloFresh.com/TWTkids to unlock this exclusive offer. 1 free kids meal per box for 2 months while subscription is active. That's free kids meals just by going to HelloFresh.com/TWTkids.
Perfect for back to school.
America's #1 meal kit.
Sure is.
America's #1 meal kit.
Sure is.
America's #1 meal
Sure
kit.
is. I'll keep doing it.
Americans want
It sure is. Who made this up? Edwin?
Edwin.
He's a good producer.
All right. Intro it, Forrest.
All right. We are going to play a game called Guess the Animal based on their native name. So across the globe, countless communities and tribes have their own unique names in their own languages for run-of-the-mill animals. This game has been put together with a bunch of different languages of names of animals. Kyle is going to read it out, and then we're going to go Peter, Patrick, Forrest in guessing what the animal is.
Now, for those
this
who
is
are
gonna
about
be
to hear this game, get ready. Get on the edge of your seat because there's nothing more fun than Kyle
I knew you were going to say that.
butchering the pronunciation.
It could be a 3-letter word, and he'll figure out a way
He'll
to
be
say
like,
it wrong.
Cat? Cat?
You know, last night I was looking through this and I was practicing. So
Get
out of
damn
here.
I still might get them wrong.
Cat.
He was on Duolingo.
I'm going to start saying cat every time I need to say the word cat.
Can I stroke your cat? All right, Kyle.
This isn't a 3,
All right.
2, 1, is it?
No.
All right. This is the first one. Shumba.
Shumba Roomba.
You're up first, Skinny Pete.
Jesus.
So it's a run of the mill.
Shumba. I wish I had just a little bit more information, like what part of the globe or something, but I don't. So I'm gonna have to go with this is a eye.
I think this is, I'm just going plain and simple. I think this is a lion.
Correct. That's
Ah,
a lion.
fuck
What-
off!
what-
Lion King.
What's
That's
the
in the
I
Lion
was thinking
King.
Simba,
Language.
Shumba.
language or
It's Shauna.
nation?
It's Shauna.
Sorry, go ahead.
What is Shauna?
Shauna is the native language of Zimbabwe.
Oh, so you did that?
I didn't know that Edwin was doing this. Hey. No, but Patrick got it, not me. That's why he went
Well,
second.
I mean, you knew it. You knew it.
I did.
All right.
All right, cool.
Fair enough. Shumba.
All right, Kyle.
We're
Have
all
at
learning
it.
things.
Have at this one.
All right.
You practiced.
Hey, I'm not good enough. Kilo pilo pitsofi.
That's pretty good.
Kilo
Not bad.
Pizzofi.
You got
it.
Kilo
Pizzofi.
Good job.
Say that 3
Kyle.
times.
Kilo Pilo
fast.
Pizzofi.
Kilo Pizzofi. It sounds like you know the accent of where that's from.
I might.
I'm going to go
do you
South
know this?
America, but I don't know anything that's from there, so I'll just say a hippo.
Kilo Pilo Pitsofi. Kilo Pilo Pitsofi.
Kilo Pilo Pizzofi.
That is Indonesian, and it's referring to an orangutan.
Peter's correct. It's a hippo.
What?
I don't know how I know so many of these. Edwin needs to come up with more obscure
Yeah.
stuff.
What? Do you know the language?
It's German.
It's not German.
No,
No?
it's.
Oh no, wait, it's Malagasy.
It's Malagasy.
Yeah, that's where we'd heard it.
Wait, so
That's-
Malagasy?
Is the language
more.
of what country?
That's what I was going to ask you.
No, you guess based on the word Malagasy.
Mala is from Malawi.
Madagascar.
That's not a country.
That's a candy bar.
That's right. I was like, I know this word, and I knew it was hippo, but I couldn't remember. But it was from when we were doing
Kilo
Dwarf
Pilo
Hippo.
Pitsofi.
Yeah,
Hippo's not extant on the island of Madagascar,
Correct.
by the way. But I guess this is what they call it.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got next, Cal?
All right. Next is Vashbar.
A vushbar.
Excellent job.
He did a good
Vashbar.
job with that one. Yeah.
Vashbar.
Well, because you have what are those little the
Like
umlauts?
umlaut.
The umlauts
Do you
above
know
the
this?
A.
I don't. Nope.
A Vashbar.
All right. Well, why don't you start then, since I'm on the spot?
Okay. The wash bar. This one does sound German to me. I'm going to say it's something out of Namibia for a wildebeest.
I think this. Why is Namibia a German colony?
Was once.
You guys thinking 2 steps ahead. I think this is a wild boar.
But I was going to say it's a wild horse.
Sound effect.
Yeah.
Son of a
Across the
bitch.
board. No, so it's actually raccoon in German.
Ah,
It was German, though.
Washbar.
Yep.
Well, we knew that from the
What does it
umlauts.
mean? Because it definitely, like raccoon in Japanese, if you look this
Oh,
up.
Washbar is like little bear, I bet.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Oh, it just says raccoon. But like, if
gotta
you look
say
up,
etymology.
yeah, put in
Kyle.
the etymology
Come
of it.
on, buddy.
Give him a break. He's doing pretty good with this
He's
with the
spelling it really
pronunciation.
wrong.
It's a
too.
T.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Google will fix it.
Wash
Don't let him
bear.
get under your skin.
Wash bear.
Washing bear.
See,
Wash
that's
bear.
great because they
That's
do
it.
the little hand
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Sticking around with their hands.
I love
love 'em.
those. I know the Japanese, the etymology of the Japanese word for raccoon is like, it's like dumpster ferret or something like that. Yeah,
That makes
which
sense.
Is awesome.
Trash panda.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle.
All right.
I know
So,
this
so
one.
the score
Do
is
you?
1-1, Peter, Patrick,
Wow.
And Forrest.
and Forrest.
I got 2. I
Yeah.
just went last.
Oh, yeah.
Got
He
that.
does have 2.
All right, number 4, Nilpferd.
Nilpferd.
Nilpferd. Well, you have to go.
Nilpferd.
You have to go last.
Nilpferd.
I know it.
If you actually know it, wait. Let me go. I'm gonna go with whale.
Oh, I like
Okay.
that.
What language, Peter?
Nilpferd.
Say it like that.
Nilpferd. It's I'll say Nilpferd. Well, it's not German. I'm gonna say it's one of the what are
Say
those
a language.
Nordic countries like Sweden. I'm gonna go
All right.
Swedish.
I'm gonna go Norwegian for wolf.
I'll
Smart.
give you a hint. I'm going to tell you the Italian word for this animal.
Okay, interesting.
Ippopotamo.
Okay,
Fuck off.
I think we got it then.
What's hippopotamus?
In German. yeah.
Apparently.
We gotta have hippo on there twice.
Wait, I thought hippo in German was like an insane word.
It's this. There was a viral video that was very funny that was a guy learning how to say hippopotamus in different languages.
Okay.
And it's like hippopotamus, Spanish, hippopotamo, Italian, ippopotamo.
Dude, see if you
and
can
then
pull
it's like
that up,
German.
Kyle.
It's
That
just this
sounds
word.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Nilpferd.
I remember that.
Pull
Yeah.
that one up for later. I want to hear it at the end.
Here, let's do it. Let's do it real quick.
Oh, he's got it. Nice.
Can
Let's
you
go.
audio?
Dude, this is genius.
Hold, please.
I need to start TikTok like this.
Hippopotamus.
Hippopotamus.
Hippopotam.
Hippopotamus.
Hippopotamus.
Hippopotamo.
Hippopotamo.
it's funny because intrinsically I was screaming Nilpferd. I think I'd seen that, but I didn't remember
must
it.
have.
I
You
think
literally
I
did
sent it to you guys like 2 years
That's
ago.
why. And I started screaming it. I saw the word and just felt compelled to scream it, but I didn't even remember it.
I sent
bigger
it to our
forces
friend
at work
Justin,
here. Yeah.
because his wife is German and he says she's always yelling at him.
Yeah.
And so I sent that to him. He was like, it's so true. He's like, she's yelling when she's not mad. It's just how it sounds.
Real quick before we move on, there's another crazy long German word. It's for like butterfly or something like that. See if you can find it, Kyle. It's like 45 syllables. I'm not even joking. Yeah, what's that top there? I saw it 1 second ago. What's that top word?
Which one?
Right?
Oh my God! You can't even say. Let's have Kyle. Let's play a game where Kyle just tries to pronounce this.
Doesn't matter. I saw this once though, and it was so many syllables.
Kyle, can you have Google pronounce it for us, please?
63 letters.
That's unacceptable.
Yeah,
Why? What? How could that? Who
Couldn't tell ya.
approved that?
couldn't tell you.
All right, here we go. It's gonna play it.
Rindfleisch-Etikettierungsüberwachungsaufgabenübertragungsgesetz Letters
63
What
letters.
does it mean?
What does that mean?
Go to English.
What?
Beef Labeling Supervision Task Transfer Act letters 63.
That's not right because that's the same amount of letters.
No. Listen, we can't
All
be
right,
right
doesn't
all the
matter.
time.
It
It's
doesn't
not
matter.
a journalistic
It's ludicrous.
podcast.
All right.
All right, next up.
I know
I got
it.
two.
I know this
Forrest
one,
has
so
two.
I'll go last.
Okay, this was Quetzal.
Quetzal? Kangaroo.
I think it is a.
Etymology, please.
It
Or
is
country of origin.
a. I think
Me?
this is
Australia.
a ostrich.
That's smart.
Good guess.
Well.
Quetzal is one of the most beautiful birds in the world from Costa Rica.
Toucan?
No, it's a big green. Like, pull up a picture of a quetzal.
Oh, it's an actual quetzal?
It's a real animal. I don't know what the etymology. I mean, it's probably Mayan or something. But
So that's
Aztec.
not that's
Aztec, okay.
All right.
Yeah,
I mean
Edwin.
this I don't agree with that.
no, I agree. That was a
bad-
mistake. That's just the name of the animal.
I don't think Forrest should get a point for that.
I think he should get
He's a
two.
wildlife biologist. Of course, he knows animals.
All right.
two
This is going to be the tie break. Last one. Let's
All
hear
right.
it, Kyle.
Nzou.
Good.
How's it
That's
spelled?
how you pronounce it.
Nzou.
Nzou.
That's how you pronounce it. That's good.
And you know this?
Yeah. It's another Shauna word. I don't know why he's using the only other language that I speak.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, legit fucking Edwin kissing.
Favoritism. He loves me.
Kissing Forrest
He
ass.
does.
What's
Peter?
an Shih Tzu.
Shit's good.
Njuru. It's a Shona word, a native language of Zimbabwe. Something they have there. It's a very beautiful creature.
Very large.
Nju. Yeah, it's an elephant. Yes.
Nah, you guys are cheating.
We cheated. I said it was very
He
large.
said very
It was a
large.
cheat.
Okay,
thank
That was
you.
a cheat.
That was a total
Yep.
cheat.
Yep.
That's correct.
Edwin, the game is good. Your structure to intentionally make me win was not good.
It's true. It's actually much more entertaining when you do the opposite of that and make sure he does not win.
Because I
he
get
gets
so
very angry.
flustered. Yeah.
It's very angry.
Good. All right. We got another game.
Another
What?
one.
We
Let's
got
do it.
2 games.
2 games in a row.
All right, so I'm going to tell you guys a fact, an animal fact.
Okay.
And you guys are going to guess what animal can do this insane
Like an
feat.
ability.
Can be trained.
So
Can
these
be
are
trained
10
to
of the
do so.
craziest trained animal feats, and Kyle is going to go blank can do this.
Ah, okay.
And we're gonna guess. Are we 3-2-1ing this, or are we just
That's
guessing?
3, 2,
Yeah,
1.
3, 2, 1.
Because we'll not know any of them. so-
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna know. Well, I don't know.
I
haven't
know
seen it yet.
one because I read an article about it, but that's it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well, how do you know? How do
Because
you
I
know
read
that
an
you know?
article about. Because I read.
Oh, so you've already seen the list.
No, I just saw the article.
I also saw the answer to number 1.
All right,
FYI.
So we all know number
so
1.
let's
So
just
we'll
skip
all
it.
just yell out no, because it's an interesting fact.
It
So
is
we'll
a-
just,
all right,
and I have
okay.
some info on number 1 because we all saw it when he hovered over it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Yep.
I didn't see it.
All right. So this is the first one everyone knows. Blank can be used to detect deep fake technology.
Oh nope, I saw a different one.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Can be used to detect deep fake
Deep fake is the
technology.
fake faces, right?
Yeah, enough
Yeah.
to
Okay,
that they may
go-
be able to detect differences between real speech and AI.
3, 2, 1
speech.
us. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
3, 2, 1.
Chimpanzee.
Human, chimps, and chimps?
Yeah.
No, it's none of those.
What is it?
It's
Push the button.
Wait, can I get a second guess before you answer?
yeah.
Is it a parrot of some kind?
No,
Damn it.
It's mice.
it is mice.
Mice.
What?
How did you know?
That's the one I saw.
That's
you
not the
idiot.
one I saw. I saw a
But
different
when
one.
he read the question, I'm like, I must have seen a different
By
one.
the way, I've never seen Kyle look so happy before he pushed that button. He's
The
like,
smugness.
no.
The smugness
How
was
can a mouse detect deep fake technology?
a good question.
It's a good question.
We don't need to go into how. I'm just going to believe that this all true.
It
Yeah,
would be
but-
good pod, but I sent the game, and I'm sure it's not been researched. It's just the game
Yeah,
answer.
I'm okay with that.
It's fine.
I don't. Wait,
I
hold
will
on.
say
No, it
this.
says it right here. Mice have a remarkable skill for distinguishing speech variations, enough that they may be able to detect the difference between real speech and AI generated speech.
And they probably like do some, make them, train them to do some behavior where it's like, okay, if they detect real whatever, they fucking push the bar or something. Because it's not like the mouse is like, oh yeah, that's stop, that's AI.
That's Eddie. Okay, that's not real. That's Eddie over there.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
next
not
one.
President
I did
Biden.
not see that one. I thought we were going a
All
different
right,
direction.
this is one that you guys might have seen. Blank can be trained to detect numerous illnesses.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Go ahead.
Count it down.
3, 2, 1.
Dogs.
There
Yeah,
you go.
we all got
Yep.
that one.
They can detect
I like the
illnesses.
triple button press.
They can smell it. They can smell a tumor. They
yeah,
can
smell
Like-
cancer.
I just,
Wow.
and the COVID like sniffers or whatever
Yeah,
they had around.
yeah. I like
Yeah,
that. I like.
all right.
We all got a point. That's
Yeah,
nice.
that's good. All
Real
right,
nice.
next
Never
one
happened
up.
before.
Blank can be trained to find invasive species such as mussels on boats, snakes, etc.
Mussels on boats. To
Well,
snakes.
I mean, dogs can definitely.
I'm gonna
do
go
that,
dogs
but
again. You have to.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna do that, but do
Okay.
the 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Dogs.
Crows.
It's dogs.
How do you put 2 in there? The same. Come on.
All right, let's move on. We know how that works. Same
All
as
right.
detecting.
What if
sickness.
everyone is just dogs and that's the
No,
funny
that's
part?
We're going to
really
stop
fun
after the
game.
next
Yeah.
one.
All right, next one. Blank can be trained to find bombs.
Ooh, I know this one.
Okay.
Count it.
3, 2, 1.
Rats.
Kangaroos.
Rats.
Rats, kangaroos, pigs.
Yeah.
Well, I said kangaroo.
We have elephants.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean,
Didn't
dogs
see that
also
coming.
can do it. But
So can rats.
So the kangaroos.
Oh, well, that's interesting. I didn't know elephants could do it. So what I know about is that in Mozambique, a country neighboring where I grew up, there were tons of leftover landmines from the Mozambique Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
And the villagers actually trained cane rats, which are one of the largest rat species in the world. They're like the size of a dog. That the cane rats, I forget how they did it, but they found some old landmines and they like smeared them with cheese or whatever. And they're like, this is now a good thing to find. And then they'd throw these cane rats out in the field, and these cane rats would go sniffing for the landmines and then pop on one. And because they were such big rats, the rat would go, and they'd be like, oh, no more landmine in my cornfield,
Yeah.
which is pretty crazy, but pretty clever.
Well, now that you reminded me, I remember just a recent article where they were talking about just regular rats being able to do this, and they were sending them out, and they were, how do animals they must be able to detect the chemicals that create whatever the reaction is that's going to make
yeah,
the
it's a
explosion.
sense of smell.
So
for the
there's
most
it's
part.
because it's just chemicals, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it's just chemicals that create the reaction.
All right, what do we got next, Cal?
All right, next we have, let's see. Blank can detect cancer, explosives, and drugs.
If it's dogs,
dogs,
I'm
for
gonna
sure
kill
it's
weed
dogs.
out
myself.
any that are dogs. Okay.
This is not dogs.
It's not dogs.
All right.
What
All
was
right.
it? It
3,
was
2, 1.
Detect cancer, explosives, and drugs.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Ducks.
Rats.
Brown
Did you say
bear.
ducks.
Here it says bees.
Bees.
How
Never
are
would've guessed
bees? How
I
are
believe
bees
it, dude.
Yeah. Is
doing
Bees
there
are
any info
so
on this?
fascinating.
This is a good podcast. We just say something and then don't support it with any information whatsoever.
But bees are super fascinating because, dude, they're so much more complex than we give them credit for. And by the way, if they went extinct, we're gonna go extinct too. We basically rely on them for fucking everything.
So, but bees use like their olfactory senses that aren't necessarily their noses. It's like what they use on their legs and things to detect honey to find these things.
But
Okay.
listen to this. Research has suggested that a bee's ability to smell is as much as 50 times greater than a dog's.
That's pretty wild.
yeah, which is
Huh.
absolutely mental.
No, dude, I learned something new about bees like every single month where I'm just like, my God, I love these things.
They're the coolest animals. It's
Yesterday,
crazy.
yeah, I was my
So
kid.
listen to this.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So they trained bees to detect biomarkers for cancer or other diseases. They have a human breathe into one end of a glass tube. And then if the bee goes in the tube and if the marker is there, the bee goes towards the smell.
Wow. That's incredible.
That's crazy, man.
That's really cool. I never would have guessed that. That's absolutely amazing.
Dude, I mean, it just goes to show you like how different types of, I don't want to say like conscious intelligence, even though like, you know, we're the apex and we think, you know, we're at the top of everything and that our consciousness is the one that's the most important because we've built everything. Like this is a tiny bee who has a tiny brain, and it like can do these very incredible things that are almost like magic to us.
Think about the amount of repetitions it takes to train a dog.
Right.
Right. And then to train a cat, it's many, many more repetitions. But bees, they learn so quickly that so these German researchers were training them. You just reward them with sugar water when they find a particular scent.
Sure.
So they could differentiate between heroin and cocaine.
Wow.
And then they go to the scent. When they get it, you give them some sugar water.
Yeah.
You can train a bee to do it in 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
That
It
is
learns so
crazy.
quickly.
That's mind blowing.
Yeah.
Like
for real.
that 10 minutes you can train them to do this.
Yeah.
And it's like an expendable thing. I mean, nobody should be out there killing bees, but it's not like a German Shepherd that you have to foster, for its entire life and train it and
feed
it and you have to keep up that training with a drug dog. It's not something you just do once and then it does it forever, right?
Yeah.
Bees are inexpendable. Train it for 10 minutes, go find the drugs, go find the bombs, go find the diseases. That's amazing.
It is amazing, dude. I was just like, and sometimes I look at honeybees and I'm like, well, then there's like just a big fucking nutritious honeybee hive around here somewhere. Like I have no idea. Like there's just bees out in the wild, and it always kind of blows my mind because honey is such like like I buy it at the store, but like these bees are coming to the flowers around my thing and then going back to their honeybee hive somewhere and making these big factories of honey.
Did I tell you guys my bee story when we went to Lake Nacimiento last summer?
No,
I
let's
didn't.
have it.
It's pretty funny. So Kyle, I'm going to give you this footage. It's actually sitting in my Google Drive because I wanted to do something with it. I selfie filmed a bunch of stuff.
Nice.
We got to every summer for the last 5 years, not this summer, unfortunately, because of my schedule, but every summer for the last 5 years, we've gone up to Lake Nacimiento in Central California. We go wakeboarding and wake surfing and swim in the lake and fish and, lake life it for a weekend. Last summer, we rented the same house every summer. Last summer, we went up there, and when we pulled in, there was 1,000 dead bees but the front door. And so my wife called the rental property manager, and she's like, hey, there's obviously a beehive here. There's like 1,000 dead bees by the front door. And they sent a guy out, and turns out right next to the front door was one of those, those big wooden drums, like old wine drums?
Yeah.
There was one of those cut in half and upside down with a little tiny hole in it, and the bees had been going in and out of it. When we got there, they weren't there. Like, we didn't see them. They were all out foraging.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, as the sun set, right when this guy came back, thousands of bees started swarming this barrel.
Wow.
Right? And so the guy comes out and he's like, hey, you got this bee problem. There's a hive in this barrel. It was literally 2 feet from the front door. It's like, I'm gonna kill the hive. And I was like, no, you're not gonna kill the hive. He's like, yes, I am. I was like, no, you're not. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
So I had like a fight with the guy. He left. He was like, fuck you. Like, I'm still getting paid. I came all the way out here. I was like, fine, I'll pay you. I paid him his $60. That's how much his fee was.
What a dick.
And he went away.
Yeah.
And so, but here's what I did, which was awesome. They were going to exterminate the bees. I called the property management, asked them if I could speak to the owner.
Yeah.
The owner said yes, or they said yes. Spoke to the owner. I was like, hey, listen, you have a beehive here. There's thousands of bees. Can I please take your wooden barrel? And they're like, sure, we don't care. We get them for free from the winery down the road.
Yeah.
So I went to the hardware store and I got a big piece of pressboard, like plywood, slipped it under there, did this all at night, decided to leave it the night before because the bees all go into sleep.
Yeah.
Taped up the hole, slipped a board under it, loaded the whole thing into my truck, and took the entire beehive from Lake Nacimiento back to my house in Santa Barbara during the night while the bees were sleeping. Got there, put it out in the garden the next morning, opened it, and the bees have been living in my yard for a year.
Nice. I love this story.
I have a giant beehive in my yard, and I want to at some point figure out how to harvest the honey from it, but all my plants look incredible in my garden.
Yeah.
The bees are all over. Nobody's ever been stung at my house.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, for once I have a connection. There's people who are always posting in my local, like just HOA, like we have for the neighborhood or whatever.
Yeah.
They will come out and say like, we'll save your beehive if you have a beehive that's a nuisance or whatever. I'll bet they would go and like do whatever you need to do to show you how to like do the honey and whatever. They don't like even make any money really. I don't think they just like want to save the bees. And also, like, how crazy to be this bee who's in this barrel in front of this house, like, wakes up in this garden, like, with all these.
There's a donkey.
It's a whole new. There's a donkey. There's a whole new world here,
All
man.
new
By
flowers
the
to
ocean.
pollinate, and everything's good, and they're happy. They've been there over a year.
That's
they come in and out.
incredible.
You see them in the morning. There's like a troop of 1,000 bees flies out of this
Oh, my
wine barrel
God.
in the bottom of my garden, and in the evening they all go back in.
That's fucking incredible.
I just
dude.
sent it to you, Kyle, for when we edit this together. Don't do it now because I don't know what's in there, but you can see me like loading it up, taping it closed, and I selfie filmed it because I was like, this is cool. I'm
It
saving
is
this
cool.
beehive.
Nice.
Yeah, I
All
love
right,
that.
let's do one more. This is worth 10 points.
10 points. Here we
10
go.
points.
Pick a good one. If it's dogs, I'm gonna put my headphones down,
Flip.
walk over to the green room, and slap them.
If
Flip the
dogs
table.
can even do whatever it is, you're also gonna get.
So
attacked.
this one, we'll go through it and then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
All right. Well, I just think it's amazing. Blank can sniff out SD cards and hidden drives.
Oh my god!
Okay, so someone's smuggling a hard drive.
Seems
And
like
they
a
go,
weird thing to do.
He looks like he's smuggling a hard drive.
What could
Bring
smell
in the
like metal technology?
Like first
ahead.
of all, yeah. All right, so we guess
All
we
right.
got to
Go
do
ahead.
3, 2,
3,
1.
2, 1.
a goose.
I
I
couldn't
just said
even.
I just said an animal.
I couldn't
bear.
think of anything.
You guys said
a
nothing.
pear.
Kodiak grizzly, a
Pear.
Kodiak bear.
Is a pear an animal?
Only a
A pear
Kodiak
is
one.
not
I
an
only said it
animal.
because it rhymed with
yeah.
a bear.
So actually, it's dogs again.
Oh, come on, Kyle, you son of a
Go ahead.
bitch.
But I
This is
thought that
crazy.
I thought it was amazing. They can sniff out hard drives and SD cards.
Why
Yeah.
would you need that?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's a scenario in which a dog
Oh,
needs to find
no,
a hard
like-
drive?
like
Someone
when you guys-
keysters a SD card. I don't know.
No, like if you guys are trying to smuggle out like footage from the Galapagos or something, you guys have done
Myanmar.
it on the reg.
We did it in Myanmar.
Yeah, well, I mean that's
Oh,
the,
yeah, we kind
that's
of
the
did it in
perfect
Galapagos
example.
too.
We thought we were going to have to.
There's
Yeah.
the example right there.
Yeah, but instead you get the joy of keystering a hard drive. So, you know.
My God, there
They're
could-
so small now.
Yeah, well,
it feels-
there couldn't be a worse thing to keister. Like,
Just a big square. Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Okay, we're good. Get on the plane.
It's the wrong
God.
shape.
yeah.
This has been
boy.
great. I'm excited. Thanks for getting me in vacation mode, Forrest.
Yeah, it's the shirt.
Peter, Skinny Pete. I
I
hope you're
I got to do the thing.
Yeah.
Well, listen, go to wildtimes.club/info. We do 6 podcasts. 2 of them are these public podcasts. There are 4 more per month. Everything's ad free. It's available on Apple. It's available on
Spotify, I heard?
and Spotify, all ad free. And you just go there, you sign up. You know, you don't have to deal with the ads. You just deal with us. I don't know why you want to, but wildtimes.club/info. Do it. Good night, everybody.
Good night. NPH.
Neil Patrick Harris.
That's what I was thinking.
I love Bud.
Whoa. That was intense, man.
Oh,
Bow. I love our like 80s sex music that closes.
I picked that out.
It's so nice.
Thanks.